right. Well, good Monday evening, everyone. Heavy Pour Sports, Dropping the Hammer podcast, the best intro in the business. Thanks to Southern Smoky Studio, God's favorite idiot, David Ferris. Little shout out to my buddy Rando as well. Kind of a joint effort putting that together. And, of course, as always, on Mondays, Miss Tiffany. Tiffany, always a pleasure to share time and space with you. How are you, my friend?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Still battling a little bit of the seasonal fun that us allergy sufferers get to deal with this time of year. But I've got the magic combination on here. I've got the Tennessee baseball jersey. I've got the Yankees hat because ever since I have put this on, neither team has lost.
Well,
So I'm not saying I'm superstitious, but I might be a little stitious, to quote the great Michael Scott. But in any event, baseball-wise, things are looking up right now. The Yankees were able to get the entire Red Sox managerial staff fired this past week. Sweep Caroline, as I've been telling all my Red Sox friends. And it's been a good week for Tennessee baseball. We did stub our toe a little bit there on the opener on Friday, but nothing makes you happier than sending the Gumps home back to that cesspool in Tuscaloosa than a series win and a doubleheader sweep on Saturday. So
Friday.
Friday. Sorry, it's Thursday, Friday this week. That threw me off, and
It was a very weird, relaxing weekend with no Tennessee sports.
It was, and I guess I didn't put that together. I basically keep track of what day it is by if I'm at work or not. So that, it was Thursday and then doubleheader Friday. So pardon me. Thank you for correcting that. But yeah, overall, pretty good week for Tennessee baseball. We'll get to the fun spreadsheet facts and stats momentarily, but there were a handful of stats that caught my eye because I know we've had our struggles and inconsistencies at the plate. But some of the things we struggled with last year in fielding, and then also some of our, if your name wasn't Liam Doyle, to some degree, Marcus Phillips. But outside of that, it was pretty shaky and scary sometimes, even with a decent lead with the bullpen. But that's sort of kind of corrected itself. And I know as a fan, sometimes we feel like we're still having issues there. And that's not to say one-off situations and moments we aren't. But collectively, this pitching staff has done a tremendous job. In fact, just talking about some of their rankings right now nationally, not conference, nationally, this staff is number 3 in the nation in strikeouts to walk ratio.
Mm-hmm.
They're 5th in walks per 9. They're 5th in whip. They're 18th in strikeouts per 9 innings. They are also 18th in hits per 9 innings, and they're 25th in the nation in ERA as a team. It's 4.22, which seems a little bit high, but for college baseball, that's not that bad. And I promise you, there are many major league pitchers right now that would love to say they have a 4.22 ERA.
Yeah.
So pitching-wise, really done a phenomenal job. And I don't remember what I saw on fielding. I thought I made a note of it.
Number 2 team in the country.
2. Thank you. I knew it was 2, 3. But
with a 9.85.
And when you consider the fact, and I think maybe even you called this out, when you play on a turf field, that's a pretty amazing number because as a former player that played on multi-surfaces, that thing comes off the ground a little bit differently when you're playing on turf. Now, it can take some wonky hops on grass, especially depending on where it hits or hits in the dirt. But playing on turf, that's like an express lane, especially for the infielders. That thing is smoking when it comes to you. So that's a pretty phenomenal achievement for this team, especially when you look at last year's fielding percentage and some of the problems we had there. So some of the things we wanted to see this year have come to pass. It's just the bats sometimes they don't get cold; they get Arctic cold, like frigid. And I told a friend of mine today, I said, if we had last year's hitting with this year's pitching and field play, Tiffany, we'd be in the number 1 seed conversation.
Oh, yeah.
With this team. So I know there are some bright spots, so I don't want to just pound our guys at the plate because I know there's some things that they did well, especially the doubleheader on Friday, not Saturday. So if you would kind of take us through some of the things that you saw, some numbers, and then just maybe kind of an overview of where we stand collectively as a team with some of those stats.
Yeah, I think I like the way that the scoreless innings 4 is trending. We're down to 68% now. 68% of innings are scoreless. So, and I think the hitting just really, I don't know if they just settled in or what was happening, but I feel like the bats just that second game really, I mean, I feel like Thursday was kind of an anomaly maybe. Even Thursday we lost by 4. But that wasn't our bats, right? I mean, we had on Thursday's game, we still had, let me see here where we're at. I mean, what killed us on Thursday was giving up 16 free bases. Like that, the walks and the hit by pitches killed us on Thursday.
Yeah, not our best effort on the mound Thursday.
No. And I mean, we had 11 hits. And we stranded a total of 6 runners in scoring position and 9 overall. So it's not that guys weren't getting on. That I think Thursday was definitely the pitching error. So I feel like the bats they're coming, and more patient at bats are happening, which is nice. I mean, I was going to talk about the national stats too, because that's what's really standing out. I think it just paints like a broader picture.
Because it's easy for us to sit here. I say us fans collectively. It's easy for us to go, and we pick on poor Ariel more than anybody with hitting with leaving runners on base, and I think his errors maybe stand out more because we do expect him to be so elite in the field. So it's easy for us to talk about those negatives and sort of across the board, but that's really not been the case. They've really been more kind of one-off type deals here, especially here lately. And then, I think it's safe to say Landon he just didn't have his best stuff.
No, it was just one of those
Thursday.
days, I think. And those are going to happen. So.
Yeah, and and everybody's got a stinker in them, unfortunately, and that's just across the board at every level, major leagues included. Sometimes it just ain't working. Yeah. Your control's not there, or you're just not getting the strike zone, and that's not to say the officiating or umpires not bad. I'm not saying that at all. But, strike zones favor certain pitchers and pitches, the way catchers call games. I mean, there's so many things that go into it. It's not just the pitcher sucks. There's a lot of variables to that. But we've seen much better out of Mac, and he just was not on his A game on Thursday. And that got away from us pretty quick. I think we were up, I think it was 3-2 at the end of the second, if I'm not mistaken, and then Bama unfortunately got on the board, tied it, took the lead, and then from the 7th on, we just couldn't do anything. well, no, I take that back. From the 6th inning on, we just couldn't do anything with them. So
yeah, Coons though, I mean, that's the performance that we knew was in him. He had an amazing performance. 9 strikeouts, went, the complete game with the run rule. So that was, that set us up for success in the second game after the arms that we used on Thursday and seeing how they hit, some of those guys. I was a little bit leery of the doubleheader, but they, Coons going a complete game really helped that. So
yeah, and plus just the fact that you go out there and you run rule, knowing that you're going to turn right around and have to play another one. I think that just does something that kind of breaks their spirit a little bit.
Run rule and shutout,
absolutely, yeah. Didn't even get on the board. So
they had they had 3 hits.
I started to ask you, was it 3? I was trying to pull it up here. 3 hits. I can hear Bob Uecker in Major League right now. 3 hits. I won't quote him, but yeah, I think that just does something to you. And then, obviously when they came out in the second half of the doubleheader and again, just pretty much laid the lumber to them, which is, again, it's fantastic to see. Like, Alabama's really, and this is a good hitting team. Let's make no mistake. Their defense is terrible and their pitching can be sketchy sometimes, but they're a very good hitting team. So to outscore them 21-4 on Friday was that was a phenomenal effort.
Yeah. So Coons allowed 4 total base runners.
That's fantastic.
So
yeah, fantastic effort out of him, and a little bit of redemption, I think, too, from the previous week. So because he got dinged up a little bit.
Blanco had his 3rd straight quality start against Alabama.
And that's fantastic too. When you again consider the quality of the team, the hitting that the teams we face, and especially in this stretch, because this is a tough stretch in conference play that we're on. And to get 3 straight quality starts, which is 6 or more, at least 6 innings and 3 or fewer earned runs. That's just phenomenal. So he's definitely in his groove and feeling it. And so from a batting standpoint, who were the winners this weekend? I know Grinlinger had a pretty good series, but who else showed up at the plate for us this week?
Yeah, so Grinlinger is SEC Freshman of the Week this week, and Coons is SEC Pitcher and National Player.
Heck yeah.
So that is good to see. So we had Ford had a great weekend. So good to see him going. He had a total of 5 RBIs over the weekend, but had RBIs every single day. He was the only one who had RBIs every single day. Hits wise, Ford had a total of 5 hits in the series. Brown had 6. It was so good to see him going as well. Made me eat my words. I'll be the first to admit, game 2, the first game of the doubleheader on Friday, I was like, why are we taking Stone Lawless's bat out for Brown? Like, I don't know about this, but he shut me up. So happy that he did that.
Hey, that throw is not so hard to eat, though.
No, I'm happy to eat those words.
Yes.
Chapman had 4 hits. Lawless had 3. Grinlinger had 7. Grimmer had 4. They were the ones who had hits all 3 days. And over the 3 games, 16 walks the guys waited out. So one stat I was looking at today and chuckling. So Wright obviously leads the team in hit by pitches. We know that he's a magnet. Yeah. He's got 14 hit by pitches. He's something like 18th in the country for hit pitches per game. But the next most on the team for hit by pitches is Clark with 7. So
not even close.
Wright has doubled the amount of the second place there. So
well,
I mean,
he is giving his all for Tennessee. So
absolutely, yeah. So I mean, it was good to see some guys get out of some slumps. So we did strand a total of 23 players over the 3 games, with 12 runners stranded in scoring position. So yeah,
still a bit of an issue, and that's something that that's something that potentially could be an issue as we get deeper into postseason play. But when they're hot and they're on, they can hit with anybody.
Yeah,
I think they've proven that at times this year. A couple series aside, I mean, this team's really close. This team has been really close this year of being in the top, 3 or 4 spots in the conference. We've just gone cold at the wrong times, and we've had stretches where we've stayed cold, unfortunately. But hopefully this series with Alabama was kind of a, we flushed Thursday, got that out of our system, and then everything really just came together in the 2 games on Friday. So hopefully that continues. It's funny, when I saw we were playing West Georgia for the non-con this week, I thought they were talking about Auburn. I really didn't know. So I had to look up. There really is a West Georgia.
I will say, sorry, just to correct, I had Blancos actually had 4 straight quality starts.
Oh, is it? Okay. Even better. Yeah. I'll take it.
Yeah.
Just fantastic. Keep that ball rolling. So
yes, West Georgia, they have yet to win a midweek this season. They are on an 8-game losing streak. So.
And I saw that Appenzeller is going to be the starter on Tuesday, tomorrow, which interesting. What are your thoughts on that? I'm not going to comment. I'm going to let you.
I'm a little confused on it, to be honest. I don't know if he's feeling a little bit shaken up for the way that his Thursday outing ended. And it's you're going to pitch like 1 inning, 2 innings, throw like 10 pitches, get your spark back, be good to go for Saturday. Because we will need him this weekend. So yeah, I don't know if it's a get the confidence rolling again thing. I hope that's what it is. I honestly hope we don't see him for more than 1 or 2 innings so that he can go this weekend. But that's the only way that I could think to explain that.
Yeah, and that was kind of me too. I felt like that, hey, what's up, T? I kind of felt like that maybe he got in his head a little bit, and it's like, hey, we're going to run you out there, let you, pitch an inning or 2, just kind of get right, get your groove back, and then sit him down, because I don't want to burn him on, especially a team, unfortunately. I mean, I'm sorry, West Georgia, but you're terrible.
They're 11-33.
Exactly. They're terrible. So, this is basically a glorified scrimmage, and I don't care to see us burn any significant arms. Let's put it that way, because not that the Wildcats are necessarily a major threat, but we're both kind of sitting there in the same spot, kind of on that tournament bubble. Both 8-10 in conference play. We've got a couple more wins than they do, but it's pretty much, we're pretty much right there in the same boat.
It was Appenzeller's worst outing of the year. Gave up 7 runs.
Yeah, that was. I thought I looked at it wrong.
Yeah. So yeah,
he got shellacked,
and he gave up a couple homers. So, a 3-run homer and a 2-run homer. So yeah, my thoughts is that it's a confidence building, like 2 innings, 15 pitches max kind of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the only way I can explain that. They last I checked, West Georgia hadn't announced who their starter was going to be, but who they started last week in their midweek. Park has thrown 20 innings, and he has a 9.9 ERA.
So he's a gas can. Yeah, I don't think it matters who they run out there. Honestly, I think it's going to be it will be one of two things. It will be a very long late afternoon, or it will be a very short one.
Yes.
For West Georgia, because it will either be a slow, painful death, or we'll just come in and, if I can quote a friend, drop the hammer on them and make short work. So, and that would suit me just fine. As much as I enjoy the opportunity to get them watch them play, I just assume put this one behind us because we've got some cats to skin this weekend, and it's kind of ironic that we're going up there to Lexington the same weekend as the Derby.
Yes, there is lots of cheap tickets for sale for Saturday's game. We've been looking at Saturday's game. We might go 2:00, but there is quite a few cheap tickets, like under $30 tickets.
Yeah, so box office Vols, it probably be as many Tennessee folks there as there are Kentucky. We were kind of talking. We haven't really touched on this yet on the rando side of heavy pour this baseball series, because it's kind of been really talking about how terrible Kentucky's been doing in the transfer portal from a basketball standpoint, and then the Kentucky Derby. But mentioned on there, we talked about horses and this kind of stuff, and I guess I'm the resident gambling expert.
Yeah.
That's not the case. But anyway, so we were talking about that, and I told Rando, I said, well, there's three ways you pick horses. One is the name of the horse, the most, creative name. Two, it's the prettiest outfit that the jockeys wear. Or three, it's which one of them goes to the bathroom before the start of the race. That's the way you pick horses. So it's kind of the same with Kentucky's baseball team. It's the name of the player. It's what kind of toys they have in the dugout that particular day, and which one of them go to the bathroom before the start of the game. So I kind of feel like we're just going to go up there and, like we do most Kentucky sports, and just have our way with them. But is there anybody we need to look out for, or do we know, have they announced any starters or who their normal starters are? Because I'll be honest, I've not dug into them at all.
I came prepared for that one today. So
I knew you would.
Couple. Well, let's look at their pitchers first, and then we'll look at some of the actual areas that I think we need to worry. So their Friday starter has been pretty consistent through the season. Jelkin, 3.96 ERA, 63.2 innings pitched. They have not had the same guy start Saturday and Sunday for the last 3 series. So through April, they have not had the same guy. So Saturday, they've had Boone, who has a 4.09 ERA over 11 innings. They've had Bennett with a 5.4 ERA over 25 innings, and Harris with a 5.08 ERA over 39 innings. It doesn't look like any of them are currently injured. And then Sunday, they've had 2 over the last month. Madison with a 5.81 ERA over 31 innings, and Cleaver with a 4.6 ERA over 29.1 innings. So their pitching, unless the numbers are not telling the full story, I'm not concerned, but Kentucky is the number 1 team in the country in hit by pitches. So that was a concern for them coming here last year, but now we have a pitching coach who likes to pitch inside. And so that is a little bit of a concern. They're also the number 22 team in the country in stolen bases. They have 104 stolen bases on the year. They average about 2.48 stolen bases per game. Now, the player that they have that has the most hit by pitches is Hindle. He's got 14, so he's tied with Wright. And then their guy that has the most stolen bases is Tarnish with 24. He has 24 stolen bases. He's only been caught once.
I was just about to ask you how many attempts. So he's crafty.
Yeah.
At the very least, probably pretty speedy would be my guess.
Yeah, and on a whole as the team, they've only been out of 100. They had 104 stolen bases and only caught 22 times. So
wow. Okay.
yeah.
So that would have been a terrible, scary stat last year.
Yeah.
I'm not crazy about it this year, to be honest, either.
Yeah.
But based on two things: one, the ERAs that you called out for these guys pitching, and two, the fact that they don't have a set Saturday, Sunday starter. I think that bodes well for us in the fact that nobody's good enough to nail down the starting role on Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
So hopefully some things go our way and we limit their opportunities to steal bases.
Yeah. So this is where like our strikeouts per 9 innings becomes so much more important.
Yes.
To get those Ks. In terms of stolen bases against us, Coons has 8, and only 1 has been thrown out and 1 has been picked off. Mac has 3 with 1 thrown out and 2 picked off, and Blanco has 4 with 1 thrown out and 1 picked off. So also some things to keep in mind there. Appenzeller's only had 1 stolen base against him. Arvidsson 2 against him.
Yeah, not many people get an opportunity to steal a base from Appenzeller. So
no, we've only had 30 stolen bases on us so far this year. So
yeah, which is not bad considering that's less than 1 a game at this point in the season. So
yeah, and I will say
I think we can live with that.
Yeah. So 30 successful stolen base attempts against us, 10 have been thrown out and 5 picked off. So those averages are pretty good. So we'll see what, but Kentucky is that like small ball gimmicky team.
Yes.
That's Mingioni's bread and butter. So
yeah, absolutely. If you don't think they're gimmicky, just look at the dugout and it'll tell you everything you need to know about this team. So, all right, very good. Well, sounds like we really need this series with Kentucky because on the horizon looming, of course, is the former Big 12 conglomerate part of the SEC in Oklahoma and Tejas. So would very much need to win this series. I think I saw somebody today comment that we probably need to win 2 of the 3 series to have a legitimate shot at making a good draw in the tournament. So neither of those are going to be very easy tasks playing at Oklahoma. Of course, we do host Texas. That'll be after Kentucky. That'll be the next series. We finish the year at Oklahoma, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
But I don't care where you play Texas. That's going to be a tough game. And then Oklahoma has some explosive tendencies. They can score in bunches. So kind of with that, a little look ahead. Let's also kind of just overall where the SEC stands, and then maybe take a look at some of what some of the projections are for the seeding for the big tournament. So of course Georgia leads the SEC right now, 13-5. They're 34-11 overall, and then the 2 Texas teams
15-6.
I'm sorry.
SEC says they're 15-6.
What have I got pulled up here? I'm on the SEC. Are you people lying to me?
Unless I'm on
I may have a dated. It's still showing me the same thing. I am on secsports.com, baseball.
That's where I'm at. Let me make sure I'm.
I've refreshed it twice.
Because we're sitting at 10-11 with Vanderbilt and Bama.
Okay, they haven't updated it apparently, which is wild. All right.
I'm on SEC. I'm on SEC too, though.
So are you on secsports.com?
Yep. On the standings?
Yeah.
Mine says 15-6 for Georgia.
What the heck?
So let's go to my phone for a tiebreaker and see what we got here.
Oh, I'm sure you're going to win.
Because Georgia won their series against Ole Miss. Let's see here. Standings. Yeah, Georgia 15-6. And
that is so wild because, and I know probably nobody can see this, but I have refreshed this thing 3 times and it's showing.
That's crazy.
Showing Georgia at 13-5.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, how about you cover the SEC standings? Because apparently I've either I need to pay for better internet or something. I don't know. I do not understand that for the life of me.
That's so weird. So yeah, Georgia 15-6, A&M at 14-6, Texas at 13-7, State at 13-8. It's good for us that they swept LSU, I think.
I think so.
Auburn 12-9, Florida 11-10, Ole Miss 11-10, Arkansas and Oklahoma both 11-10, and then Bama, Vandy, Tennessee 10-11, Kentucky 9-12, South Carolina, who just took the series from Kentucky, is 7-14, LSU 6-15, and Mizzou 4-17. LSU is having a hell of a championship hangover.
Man, I'm telling you what, for them to go top of the mountain to everything I've seen out of the LSU faithful, ready to just absolutely run Joe Johnson not out of LSU, not out of Baton Rouge, out of the country. Like they're so done with and over. And I'm like, but y'all were loving him this time last year and talking about how great he was. And now that Tony's gone, he's gonna run college baseball. My, how the turntables turn.
It is interesting too, because he gave that interview not long ago, a couple weeks ago, about how if an MLB job opened, he would jump at it.
I bet he would.
Yeah.
I bet if he was standing on a bridge, he'd jump off of it too right now. So, I mean, they are, I don't, again, because I'm looking at, apparently last week's standings, but what is their record on the road? I'm showing 3-10. So it's probably worse than that now.
On the road. Yeah. 3-10 is what I've got on the road.
It's 3-10. Okay. So they played a home series this weekend. Yeah. So,
no, they played at State.
They did?
Yeah.
Well, what in the world is going on?
I don't know.
I give up. I'm closing it before I stick my foot in my mouth again. So, anyway, well, I know this is current. This is the projected field of 64, and I'm not going to deep dive into this. I'm simply going to cover what appear to be the host teams for regions. So we'll start with the number 1 overall seed as of today, and that is going to be UCLA. So clearly they're going to host. Then we have Texas, North Carolina, Georgia Tech. Sorry, Georgia. Auburn looks like they're going to get to host. A&M, of course. Georgia will host. Coastal on track to host Mississippi State. Nebraska, Oklahoma, the Gators, Ole Miss, Florida State, Oregon State, and Tuscaloosa right now will have a regional. As of today, if these were to hold true based on projection, Tennessee would fall to the Tallahassee region, which would, again, include today Florida State, Missouri State, and North Florida. So definitely some beatable teams in that region, I think. And we all know our history with Florida State. So
it's also important to note because this is the year they've changed how they're doing regionals this year, right? Where they're just straight seeding and they're not then breaking it up by, is that what I've been reading?
I think that is correct. Yes.
Yeah. So the other two that I've seen today, because I've seen two other bracketologies today, have us in Georgia Tech's bracket, which I really don't want. And then
I would much rather be in Tallahassee.
Yeah. And then also UNC. So
okay. And I don't necessarily hate that one either.
Yeah.
So I take it if we are going to be if we were to go to Chapel Hill, then they have Arkansas projected to be there right now. Surely they would not put us in a region with Arkansas.
We were the 2 seed there, so I would think not.
So we would swap then, because Arkansas, I'm seeing Arkansas as the 2 seed there. We would be the 3 in Tallahassee, which I thought interesting, because I did see the same thing you saw with the projection to Chapel Hill. So
yeah.
I mean, honestly, I hope this doesn't come back to bite me. I'm not as concerned about the ACC teams as I am certainly the other SEC teams. Or, I mean, honestly, even I wouldn't want to go to Conway, South Carolina. Would not be particularly fond of playing in Westwood. And keep us out of any SEC host team.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess other than Mississippi State, we could go to Starkville because we don't ever lose when we play those jokers. So I'd be okay with that, I guess. But I just don't want to play. I don't want to play a region against an SEC opponent in their stadium. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Because I just think that's just bad mojo, bad juju.
So D1 baseball currently has us sitting 31st in RPI. So
I don't know where. Let's see. I'm just looking at the last 4 in and first 4 out. Looks like Baylor, Texas State, East Carolina, North Carolina State would be the last 4 in. The first 4 out would be Michigan, Oklahoma State, Clemson, and BYU. And then, of course, the next 4 out would include Vanderbilt. So, sorry, Peabody. Looks like you're going to just have to enjoy, just like Kentucky had to enjoy a regular season sweep against us as their banner hanging moment. I guess you're going to have to enjoy that as well, because y'all ain't going to be there. So enjoy watching from the couch. Speaking of watching from the couch, I was saving this for you. I think I will save it. I don't have it out here anyway. But yeah, how'd that draft go for Diego there? Anybody?
Vandy fans they were very upset over the weekend.
Yeah. And as everybody knows, I hate to be the I told you so guy. I tried to tell you idiots, he is not an NFL quarterback. And just because you get invited to camp does not mean anything.
The number of supposed college football accounts that I saw today talking about how him and Kendrick Lamar are now teammates. I was like, he's not. Mini camp doesn't equal on the team.
No, that in no way, shape, or form is he on the team. I don't know how anybody can spin that, because I've seen some banter back and some jawing back and forth with Tennessee fans in regard to Joey Aguilar, with Peabody fans in regard to the Oompa Loompa. It's apples and oranges. I mean, Joey signed an undrafted free agent contract. He's under contract with the Jaguars.
And was signed almost, according to Vandy fans, it doesn't matter how quickly you sign your undrafted free agent. But Joey signed almost immediately.
Yeah, as soon as the draft was over, he signed.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, the draft barely finished, and Joey's signing a contract. So, and not to mention, that Diego got invited to mini camp. We don't even know if he's going to make full size camp. He's got to go to the mini camp.
Well,
so
I feel very qualified to talk about the CFL because a lot of people obviously talking about that this weekend. So, and I actually didn't know that it worked this way in the CFL, but the Winnipeg Blue Bombers have put him on their negotiations list, which means they, I guess, own the rights to signing him should he decide to play in the CFL.
Okay.
And so everybody knows Winnipeg is known as the armpit of Canada. It is directly above North Dakota. It is like, I had an ex-boyfriend from there, and he always used to be, and my best friend is from there. And they're always so excited to go to Winnipeg. And I went 1 or 2 times, I think. And it was the ugliest city I've ever been to. And I've lived in 3 countries, so I feel very qualified to talk about ugly cities, but not a good looking city. And in the winter they have, or in the summer they have giant mosquitoes. And in the winter they just have cold, dry weather. Not that he would stay up there in the winter, but yeah, it's like of all the football cities you could live in Canada, that would be the worst one.
That's the worst one. Yeah. Because winter's not just a few months out of the year. It's not, December, January, February.
Well, I mean, so CFL starts usually about June and finishes in November because winter comes so early. But I mean, anytime from like late September, you can have snow.
Yeah, I've seen snow. I don't really I used to actually watch CFL. Like I enjoyed watching it. And I have a tendency sometimes to make a wager or 2 here and there because I've got a friend that she's really she lives in Alberta in the Calgary area, so she's really good with like hockey and CFL. So I kind of keep up with what she does and make the occasional wager or 2. But I've seen snow on the ground in the CFL in like September before. And October. And it's not unusual that you'll have, 20 degrees and a foot of snow and they're, before Thanksgiving in some of these games. I've seen Grey Cups be a complete blizzard.
Yeah. I mean, I'm from Calgary, so, I was really hoping the Stampeders would not even look at him. And I'm so grateful that they won't. But I mean, my mom and her sisters are coming to visit in September, and they're so excited that they'll still be able to wear shorts.
They'll be able to wear shorts, all right.
Like it's still going to be like when we convert it, it's still going to be at least 30 degrees Celsius for you. And they're like, yes. When I first started dating my husband, he came up. The first time that he came up to Calgary was in July, and it was 23 degrees, which is like high 60s, low 70s. And he was like, when does summer start? And I'm like, this is our hottest month of the year. This is it. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, they'll absolutely love 90 degrees and 90% humidity in East Tennessee in early September. Let me tell you, that's just phenomenal. So, and while we may not have mosquitoes that size, we have certainly made up for it in quantity. And with all the water around, that will be a fun time for them. So I'm sure they'll have a great time. And I love East Tennessee. It's my home, but I'm also very aware of some of the drawbacks for folks that aren't used to warm weather. So it ain't Louisiana swamp hot or muggy, but it can still get pretty muggy there in August and still even in September, because I've gone to football games end of September. And it's just been miserable, muggy in the evening. But that'll be a nice break and change for him, I'm sure.
So if he does end up going to the CFL, he'll be the rights belong to the worst city to live in.
Yeah. Well, it couldn't happen to a better guy. Because if you're going to make Johnny Manziel role model, mentor, and who you fashion your, career after, then you deserve everything that comes with that, including playing in Winnipeg. So
yes,
hopefully, I would love for that to hold true. If he's even good enough for that, I don't know if the CFL has a height requirement. If he's tall enough to ride the ride, but
well, even then,
like
a rookie in the CFL is going to make between 70 and 100,000 Canadian, and so if he got the 100,000 Canadian, that would be about 73,000 American. So
yeah,
significant pay cut.
Yeah, well,
and that Canadian football doesn't love the scandals. Like they don't put up with it. So
yeah,
that could kill him. His attitude could also kill him up there because, it's just not.
Yeah, and I think that holds true no matter where he goes. I mean, unless the XFL kicks back up or something, and they let the criminals and the degenerates play in a league like they did back in the day, then he really doesn't have a place. Somebody mentioned arena football. I'm like, he's not even good enough to play arena ball.
I think I was reading over the weekend that he told NFL teams that he's not interested in being a backup. He only wants to be a starter. And I can understand, like, I kind of wonder how much like coaching and training he got for these interviews beforehand, because I can understand maybe in his brain that saying something like that would come across as like confidence and like competitiveness and like, I'm going to give my all for the team. But what it's going to be taken as with his other behavior after the Heisman and whatnot is this guy's going to cause issues in our locker room.
Yeah. 100%. And I can answer the question as to who coached him is nobody, because, we may not like Clark Lee necessarily, but if you look at Clark Lee, the coach and the man, that's not how he operates.
No. And that's what's so weird is like, even in Diego's media interviews, like saying, oh, Coach Lee says that the frontal lobe doesn't fully develop until 25. So I got another year. Like, again, what's going on? Like,
yeah. Well, newsflash there, poverty, age and maturity have nothing to do with each other.
Yeah.
So your brain may not be fully developed. Your words, buddy, not mine. But that still won't flip a switch on maturity and, humbleness and somebody that's, willing to, I won't say be coached, because I think he is coachable, because obviously he's grown his, he took his path from JUCO to, New Mexico State, then to Peabody.
Yeah.
So I think, coaching certainly isn't an issue, but it's what he does with it. And just this whole shtick of being overconfident and, it's I'm dictating how this goes. That's just not how the real world works. And whenever you're managing an enterprise, rent a car, or selling insurance, or used cars, whatever it is you ultimately end up doing, you're going to learn that. So sad, but anyway, as I said, it couldn't happen to a better guy.
Now, the news did come out today that in basketball, it looks like they're going for the 5x5. However, last year's seniors will not get grandfathered into that. So we will not be able to get Akpara back next year, sadly.
Yeah. The lawsuits are about to fly with that too. And this is going to be a mess if this goes through. The 5-4-5, 5-in-5. I'll be honest, I wasn't even fully aware of this being a thing until we talked about it Saturday evening. And I think there's some good things to it. Mm-hmm. One thing that T brought up was the medical red shirt, because whether you get hurt, don't get hurt, transfer, red shirt, whatever it looks like, you got 5 years, period. T was one of the beneficiaries of that medical red shirt because he redshirted his freshman year and then he got hurt his sophomore year, took a red shirt and was still able to complete his eligibility. So he played 4 years and 6 because of a red shirt his freshman year and then a medical red shirt. So he still got his full time. And so I think there has to be some consideration for that.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you'll have guys, and this will happen, you'll have guys just like T who redshirt their freshman year and then they get hurt at some point.
Yeah.
Well, their medical redshirt's not going to be an option. It's going to count as a year, even though they may not even step foot on the field. We've seen that happen as well, where guys get hurt, blow out a knee in fall camp. I mean, stuff happens. It's a violent sport. So I think there's some glitches in it. I think there's some things that maybe need to be kind of evaluated and looked at, but I think absolutely something needs to happen because we still see it. I mean, guys that get their 7th and 8th year of eligibility because of one goofy reason or another. And, and I know it's easier for me to sit here as a Tennessee fan and talk about Joey Aguilar because he basically petitioned the court under the same pretext and the same situation as Diego Poverty did.
Yeah.
Poverty gets his extra year. Joey doesn't.
Yeah.
So I think there needs to be something in place for sure because it's really difficult to ask 18, 19-year-old kids to go out there and play against 24, 25-year-old grown-ass men.
Yeah. And I mean, look at Chambliss. He's playing next year, but Joey got denied, which is also crazy. So.
Yeah. So it's so arbitrary. And, and I was the first to very loudly criticize Alabama for going to a judge that just happened to be a donor and graduate of the school to award Bediako eligibility, only to have it overturned, of course.
Yeah.
But, gosh, man, I mean, you can't even I thought there was no way that he was going to get denied just based simply on the fact that Diego Poverty got his additional year for the JUCO thing, which is exactly the same thing that Joey did. It's
I think what ended up
happening, it's the same path.
It was, and I think because I saw some lawyers talking about it on Twitter, and his lawyer, Joey's lawyer, kind of deviated from that and went more to his likelihood to lose money if he didn't get another year versus the JUCO years not counting. So
and I thought that was a little ridiculous because the judge, I mean, honestly, it's not about how much money you can make.
Yeah,
that's not the argument here. It's about not getting to play 4 years of D1 eligibility.
Yeah.
Had Joey played at group of 5 school for a couple of years, then transferred, then was trying to get a 5th year, then I could understand the denial in that regard. But it's the exact same path. Like you take the names out of it and take the names of the schools out of it and just look at the circumstances.
Yeah.
How can you award one and deny another? It just didn't make sense.
Yeah, I think that was on Joey's lawyer for deviating how he argued it in the end.
And I understand them wanting, because Joey was named in the Poverty lawsuit initially, and he took his name out of that and kind of wanted to take it, take the fight himself and handle it his own way. And I respect that because I wouldn't want to be associated with that little midget anyway. But it clearly didn't get handled properly. And it's certainly, I mean, if you want to talk about costing Joey some money, let's talk about a extra year at Tennessee as a starting quarterback with NIL versus an undrafted free agent rookie contract. That's night and day difference in money. Yeah. So very unfortunate for Joey, but I wish him the best. And Trevor Lawrence, you better be looking over your shoulder, buddy. Joey come in there and light it up. So yes. Good deal. Well, anything else that we can hem and haw about?
Not that I can think of.
All right. Very good. Well, I think we did it justice tonight with covering some stats and talking about kind of a bigger picture with maybe what's to come, where we stand nationally, and our postseason hopes, and maybe win at least two of these three, have a good run in the tournament, and we can get ourselves in a better position, get a favorable draw in this field of 64. So,
yes.
Well, we will enjoy beating the ever-loving hell out of West Georgia tomorrow, and then on to Lexington to skin the cats and take their toys from them. And then we'll come back next week and gloat about it. Does that sound good?
Sounds like a plan to me.
Outstanding. Well, everyone, thank you for joining. Tiffany, it's, again, I can't say it enough. It's always a pleasure to have you on and chop up the baseball. Love your spreadsheet and stat keeping. It's quite a service that you offer to Vol Nation and all the baseball fans out there. As you can see, I can't imagine if you watch this show and you're not following Tiffany, then something's wrong. But in any event, you can find her at Vol212320. Please follow her because she's constantly putting out stats and numbers that are, you won't find them pretty much anywhere else. So it's a great thing she does with that spreadsheet. So again, Tiffany, thank you. Thanks everybody for joining. Be sure to follow Heavy Pour Sports, the podcast channel, and everybody associated on Twitter. We appreciate it. Helps us keep doing what we do. And we look forward to seeing everybody next week.
See ya.
Go Vols.
Go Vols.